Hi everyone, this is Daniel Villarino. Welcome to my YouTube channel. The first thing that came to my mind after I thought about getting a lathe was where I was going to get the wood from to do my turnings. And basically I wish that I had a big stock of blanks to do them. I began to research in the internet and I found several places, and I am going to list some of them down there for buying either domestic or exotic hardwood. And some of them are really exceptional, and they have a great variety of hardwoods and also some softwoods and really nice pieces for both spindle and ball turning. Now, this is okay if you are going to be turning small pieces like pens and bottle stoppers and the such, because these hardwoods are really expensive. But if you really want to get into turning larger pieces like balls, it might get really expensive to try to get them online or at the lumberyard. So I wonder, where do people get these large blanks? And no longer after that, I found a tree in my neighborhood has fallen. The tree fell over a cable box and basically was blocking a path. And I asked around and they told me that it was okay to cut some pieces, because basically I was removing the tree from over the box and I was going to bring most of it to my house. You know, this was a poplar. No longer after that, I was driving on a parkway and I noticed that there was also another poplar. This was a huge tree that surely fell down as a consequence of a storm, and it was already on the floor cut in big chunks. I called the National Park Service and I asked whether it was possible for me to go there with my chainsaw and cut myself some pieces. And the answer was that as long as the tree was on the floor, I could remove as much as I wanted. And I got myself some big blanks from the poplar as well. Also, some friends found out that I was getting into wood turning, and they began to offer me pieces of wood from trees that they had to fell in their lots. A good friend, Bill, had a walnut tree that was getting sick and they had to cut it down, and so I got several pieces of walnut. Another friend, Alvaro, who had another tree, this one was a Bradford pear, between his house and his neighbors, which was already damaging the houses, asked me if I could help him to bring it down, and also he offered me the biggest parts for turning. So I took the offer. If you have a house, your own backyard may be a good source from the prunings or fallen trees due to storms or sickness. And I found that I had several trees in my backyard that were sick and they were dry, and I had to cut them down, and I had more wood there than I wished for. I had some cherry, I had some birch, and also some poplar. If you are too desperate, you can also grab a piece from your firewood. In any case, as you see in these pictures, by the time my wife gave me the lathe as a gift, I had more wood than I wished for. So be careful what you wish for. There are going to be always sources, so don't despair. At this point, I have wood in my house in different places, under the deck, in my basement, in my workshop, all over the place, that I have their stock to turn for probably years. Now that I have the lathe and I have so much wood, I need to begin to process it and rough turn it so that I begin to generate my second stock, which is the rough turn balls that after several months of drying are going to become the blanks for my final ball. And I want to start with one of the pieces of the wood that I brought from Uruguay. This is a piece of poplar. It looks very nice and it seems to have some spalting in some places around here. I already use a compass to make a circle there so that I can cut it roughly in a cylindrical shape with my saw. I don't have a bandsaw, but I'm going to try to use either the chop saw or the table saw to make the cuts and take it to a roughly cylindrical shape so that I can mount it in the lathe. And then I am going to mount it on a faceplate first to make a tenon, and then on the chuck to begin the rough turning. From all the videos I have seen from all these excellent wood turners, normally when you are going to turn a piece of green wood like this one, you need to leave a wall thickness of about 1/10 of the diameter of the ball. The diameter of this circle that I mark here is around 7 inches, so to rough turn it I need to leave a wall of about 3/4 of an inch and then let it dry until I can do the final turning. Okay, I have rounded up as much as possible, and what I found is that there is some spalting on this area around here and also a bit around here. So I think I'm going to use this face as the top of the ball and this has the base. It has a crack here, so let's see how deep is that and see if I can avoid it. So the idea is to mount it first on a faceplate on this side to make a tenon on this other, and for that I have the point where I use the divider to make this circle. So this has 1 inch and 1/4, so I'm going to set the divider to 5/8 basically and make a small circle here. And I am going to use that as a reference to set up the faceplate. I'm going to start turning at the speed that doesn't produce vibration. I am right there about 500 RPMs. It seems that that one is more or less okay. So I'm going to start around there, and then as long as I keep rounding the shape and get more balance, I'm going to increase the speed. tenon made on the base and approximately the shape that I want for the exterior. So now I'm going to mount it in the chuck and do the face and also begin to remove some material. The diameter is a little more than 6 inches. So I'm going to leave the walls at about 3/4 of an inch, between 3/4 of an inch and 5/8 of an inch. Okay, that was fun. It looks like it has a very nice spalting on this side here. I will show it better later. But basically, to try to check the size of the walls, I am using this tool. It's a caliper. When you open up here, it displays the measure there. So basically, I take the measure, for example, of the bottom there, and on the other side I can use my ruler to measure the distance. So doing that all around, I found that the width of the wall and the bottom is somewhere between 5/8 of an inch and 3/4 of an inch, which is basically what I wanted for this rough turning. So now what I'm going to do is remove this from the chuck, and I'm going to put it in a bag with the shavings all surrounding the shape. So there it is, you can see there some of the spalting and much more on this other side here. Very nice piece. I think once it is finished, it's going to look great. I cannot wait to make the final turning, but that is going to be happening probably in between 6 and 9 months from now. This is poplar. It's a very soft wood. I sanded it a little bit to try to see how it will look. I'm going to put it in the bag right now. This is something that I saw Carl Jacobson doing with his rough turnings, and it looks like it works for him, so let's see if it works for me. Okay, I just finished cleaning my workshop. The piece of poplar that I used was really green. It had a high content of water, and it's important that after you pack the bag with the rough turn ball inside, to remove all the rest of the chips from all the metal surfaces, your lathe, the chuck, your tools, because since the content of water is so high in these chips, it's going to transfer and corrode them. So the cleaning is very important. I have the bag here, and you could see inside all the chips packed there in the middle of all that. is the rough turn ball. So what I'm going to do now is close it, and I am going to mark some place in the bag the date. With that, about 6-9 months from now, I'm going to check and see how dry is the rough turn ball, and if it is dry enough, then I can proceed to finish. 6-9 months from now, if I keep doing this, I'm going to have a stock of rough turn balls and really begin to have fun. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please make your comments, also like it and subscribe to my channel. And until the next one, cheers!